The state of...
You're not taking coffee this morning.
Oh, don't worry. My cup of coffee is coming.
Okay.
Oh, my cup of water as well. But the state of insecurity in the country is becoming or has become worrisome to some people, and a lot of people are bothered about the seeming increase in the insurgent attacks, explosions here and there, and the loss of lives. But showing that the federal government is also concerned, a couple of days ago, the federal government sacked the old service chiefs and replaced them with new service chiefs just after they had removed the Director General of the DSS, replacing with a new Director General. At the end of it all, the picture being put out there is that the federal government is not insensitive and is working to ensure that insurgency is curbed once and for all.
But some people don't see it like that. They feel it seems to be getting worse.
Well, we're hoping that today we'll get out some answers from some quarters. We have security experts and someone who actually lives in the midst of that zone in the northeastern part of the country is also here as well. They'll help us shed more light on what is going on there. Please join us to welcome Mr. Ladi Thompson, security expert. Thank you for coming.
The pleasure is mine.
Here also is Issa Gusau, Special Advisor to the Borno State Governor on Communications. Thank you for coming.
Thank you so much.
And the spokesperson of the All Progressives Congress is here, Alhaji Mohammed.
Thank you very much.
We're not talking politics today.
No.
We're talking the security situation in the country. All right, gentlemen, thank you for coming. Let's begin by asking you a question here. Mr. Thompson, what's your take on the situation now?
Well, if you ask me, I will tell you that from a professional point of view, things have gotten a lot better. The challenge that Nigeria has right now is that the media reporting is yet to be upgraded to capture the, the fact that a lot of progress has been made. Let me explain that for you. Strategically speaking, if you understand and you watch what is going on, you will find out that the Boko Haram has had to alter its strategy. And the reason why it has to alter its strategy is because finally, the Nigerian government has begun to get things right. You know, I've been here many times explaining how that you cannot treat a disease until you diagnose it properly. Now that things are being handled properly, towards the end of the last dispensation, what they were doing was that they had reduced the strategy to a war of attrition. And when these ones came in, you can easily see that some professionalism has been restored to the military. And as a result of that, the morale is better. They've been able to check the moles, the activity of moles who are like demoralizing the army from within. And because of that, the Boko Haram has gotten a lot more desperate. You see, right now, if you look at the strategies that are coming forth, they may look as if they're more lethal, so to speak. But right now, they are like recruiting children below the age of 10, 9, 8, and all that, and then send them on errands and then detonating bombs. What you see there is like a snake whose head is being cut off, finally, and then you still have some movement for a while. It's desperation on the part of the Boko Haram that has led to that. So from a professional point of view, the government strategy has improved, you know. However, the media reporting, which is also a part of the war, has not yet caught up with the improvements that this government has brought.
We'll come back to the issue of the media reporting, but you are in Borno State. Do you agree with him that things are a lot better?
Well, I think it's not about whether I agree or not. It's about what the citizens actually feel. He is speaking as a professional, and then I would agree with him as somebody in government. That because to the ordinary man on the street, as far as he's concerned, it's not about what the government is doing, it's about what is on ground. But the fact of the matter is that so much is being done. And I think the most important thing is that members of the public, particularly for those of us in Borno State, I can tell you that the communities are deeply involved in the fight against insurgency. Everybody has keyed in. The military has an overwhelming support. higher than what they have ever gotten, in the past years. And then the people seem to have so much confidence, in the administration that something new is going to come. Look, the mere fact that you have a president who has a military background sends a psychological warfare against the insurgents. They know that they'll be dealing with a different strategy, whether they like it or not. And I think that is really important. But of course, it also bows back to those of us in government also continuing to take different measures. Because, I mean, you cannot wait and allow people to get killed. So much is being done on the part of, the Borno state government, and I believe the federal government too is doing so much about it.
As you're talking now and trying to connect with it, yes, so much is being done, but almost every other day you hear one bombing here, one bombing there, and several lives are lost.
Yeah.
So where is that effort going? How can we see it as citizens?
You see, that is why the war, the most difficult terrorist is a homegrown, terrorist. It's the most difficult thing. Look, if the U.S., I think Nigeria is a very strong country. If the U.S. with all their military powers has gone through 1/10 of what we are going through, only God knows what will have happened. Homegrown terrorism is the most difficult thing. It's easier to deal with Al-Qaeda coming to your country because all you require is to close the borders than having insurgents amongst you, people that you don't identify. Like he talked about some of these girls. Some of these girls, in my opinion, are actually being hypnotized. Some of them might be, injected. Some might be drugged. You don't know. They are just pushed around as they move. They are detonated. But most times you hear the media saying they bomb themselves. I don't think they do that. Most times they are just pushed to places. And of course we know that there's also the economic element of it. Because I remember that in 2004, 2014, the military paraded some young men, and they presented them to Governor Kasim Shettima. Now the governor now asked one of them, how come he was recruited into the Boko Haram? He was just 9 years old. He said he was being given 5,000 naira to spy on soldiers. He asked the other one, he said he was being given 5,000 naira to set our schools ablaze. There was another lady who was being paid 10,000 naira to smuggle out. So the economic elements, are there. And Governor Kasim Shettima, for anyone who has been following, all that he has been saying from 2011, is that we must continue to pursue the Boko Haram, deploying 3 approaches. One is the military, which is already going on. You have to also deploy an economic, economic stimulation package to spice up the economy of the region. And then political solution. You must look at political solution. It's very, very fundamental. The last time the governor talked about amnesty, the whole world, everybody was shouting, because we are talking from the point of sentiments. We are not looking at the reality on ground. Because right now, we need to ask ourselves, why is it that despite all the fight against Boko Haram, the numbers keep growing? The Boko Haram members seem to have a lot of members. Their number one strategy is that they attack communities and force people to join them. And now when they force people to join them, if for instance they attack an ex-community, they gather the youth there, they preach to them about their ideology, tell them when they do what they are doing,